This is Jeff McNeil of the Houston Herald, joined by Coach Eric Sloan. The Tigers lose their regular season finale tonight at home, 41-13. Coach, your thoughts on that game against Liberty?
It's kind of the same story, different year. When we play those guys, it seemed like, man, they put their athletes in space, threw the ball around a little bit to those guys, made some guys miss, and uh, man, they did what they do very well. And what has been our Achilles heel in years past kind of stuck out in the first half, and man, we struggled to defend those guys. And that again looks like a bunch of basketball players out there running around and throwing the football, and they throw it and catch it very well, and they put us in space, and they just make plays.
First half was seemed like we were just off, or maybe that's credit to them. But what did you see in the first half? Because we got in a big hole pretty fast.
Yeah, I don't know. We just struggled defensively. We give up a lot of cushion. They'd throw little short stuff and then let their athletes make plays, and then we'd scoot guys up, and then they would throw it to the 6'4" kid and let him go get it. And offensively, we just completely went brain dead up front. And then I don't know, right there about the end of the first quarter, there's oh yeah, well, when we run this play, am I supposed to do this? Yeah, that's exactly what we've been working on, and I mean, it was obvious we blocked it the way we were supposed to, and Hutchison got out the back door and to the house. And I don't know, it was just like all at once. Oh yeah, we forgot what we were supposed to do, and I don't know. I mean, we're just playing real inexperienced up front, and I'm not real sure why.
Yeah. Their first score was set up by a fumble. Was that a hook and ladder, or did we lose the ball there?
Yeah, we were going to go with that play that we scored with Dixon on against Kabul. I don't know, about the time he got ready to pitch it, CJ, I mean, they hit him. It was good timing on that. And I don't know, in hindsight, it'd be good if we could eat that ball and just get a 5-yard gain there or something. But, at that point, we decided to gamble a little bit. And if it works, it's great. And if it doesn't, that's what you're going to get. Put the ball on the ground, and that's what happened.
Second touchdown set up by another situation where we didn't execute a fake punt by them. Tell me what you saw on that play. They go for 41 yards on a short pass and make it 14-0.
We just, again, we were brain dead. And they fake punted on us 3 different times tonight. Was successful on all of them. Just snap it to an athlete and let him run around and make decisions. And man, we were nowhere to be found on any of those 3 punts. So credit to them. They were really gambling with the field position, and it worked out. And that's just another phase of the football game that we didn't win tonight. So looked ugly in a hurry.
One thing that did go positive, Daniel Hutchison, your sophomore, had touchdown runs of 80 and 70 yards, goes for over 160 yards. Just continue to see good things from him when he just gets an opening, and obviously he's got the speed that once he gets that corner, nobody's catching him, including some pretty nice athletes from Liberty.
Yeah, and again, I mean, that's probably credit to our offensive line. When he touched that with I don't know, it was the last possession of the first half when he went the 80 yards. I mean, we blocked it to perfection, and I mean, there was a nice hole, and Daniel's very gifted with his speed. So I mean, he just bounced it and turned it into a track meet, and I mean, we know what Liberty does during track season, so just kind of ran away from their kids. And again, it's really frustrating that it takes almost a half of football to figure it out up front, and it's pretty obvious when we block and execute the way we're supposed to. I mean, nice things happen, and I think Daniel was able to capitalize off of that.
One of your seniors, Peyton Dixon, went down with an injury at the end of the first half after an interception. Looked like he fell over the raised part of the infield over there, back behind the end zone, maybe where the long jump pit is. Just talk about what happened to him and how he is, because he came out dressed in street clothes in the second half.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, he intercepted the ball there, kind of running out of the end zone, and then I don't know if he got thrown, I don't know what happened, but it's kind of over there where the long jump runway is, and kind of, I mean, it raises up there, changed in elevation, fell awkwardly, I don't know, hurt the outside of a knee. I don't know. He said at halftime it felt really weird, but thought he could play. But I mean, if it's feeling weird, there's no need putting him back in the game, because right. I mean, if you if you can't cut and do the things that he needs to be able to do, I mean, you're just putting him in a liable situation to get him hurt bad. So,
Right.
I mean, I thought that was a no-brainer on a decision there. That if he's not feeling 100% right there, there's no need to continue the night. Just go ahead and shut it down.
Right. Tonight was senior night as you honored this senior class, and I know you've talked a little about them before in previous weeks, but I know you're pretty fond of what these guys have accomplished. A group that hadn't had a whole lot of success until they got in high school, and end up with a 5-4 regular season headed into districts next week, and obviously made some nice strides for the program this year. But just your thoughts on that group as a whole.
Yeah, when I first got here, these guys were in 8th grade, and I guess the first time I was really around them was basketball season. I got to coach some of these guys, and then I was named the head coach, and we started the OFL program. So got to coach a lot of them that 8th grade year, and then first year, their freshman year, and I mean they were the babies in the program, and you know I don't know. Most of them were there at that time, and obviously we've lost some of them along the way, but these guys continued to show up and battle when things weren't obviously going as well as we wanted it to, and then they kept grinding and spending summers in the weight room when other people are going to the swimming pool and doing things like that. And, they've done what I've asked them to do, and they've become selfless players. And I mean, they play for more than themselves, and it's not about me; it's about the team. And I'm going to credit those guys a lot because the buy-in. All in is kind of our slogan this year, and I truly believe early on, I mean, we had guys that weren't, and they just keep preaching it and keep preaching it, and I think we're getting. I mean, we got guys on board with that, and I mean, it's pretty obvious just to listen to them. Earlier in the year, I think it was the Cuba game. Um, this guy needs to touch the ball running this play because it's working, and I can block for him, and. I mean, just to hear things like that, it wasn't the me guy, and I think that's exactly what we got to have. And I'm so proud of these guys for buying in and sticking with it when it'd have been easy to turn your stuff in and go home.
Well, 5-4 to conclude the regular season. We hit the road next week. We finished 5th in the district, but because of the Misha rules, we'll be jumped by Mountain Grove, who's the number 6 seed. So we'll finish in the 6th slot, and we'll head to Strafford, who gets jumped by Fairgrove just because of head-to-head matchups. So on the road next week at Strafford, this will be the 3rd time in your tenure that you've headed to Strafford. So
Yeah.
it'll be a very familiar trip.
Yeah.
Just talk about going on the road and face the Indians, who only have one loss. They're 8-1.
Yeah. Coach Esther does a really good job over there. They remind me a lot of Liberty. I don't think they pride themselves in the run game as much as Liberty does. I mean, they like to spread you out and throw it around, and a lot of screens and things like that. And they, again, put athletes in positions to make plays. And you look at the Evangel roster right now, there's a lot of Strafford kids, so they've got quite the pipeline going to play at a pretty quality NAIA school.
Right.
So, it's going to be a good test for us. It's a opportunity to go play somebody outside of our conference. It's not really a team that we see during the season, so I guess when we get our eyes on film tomorrow, that'll be the first time we've seen them, and really we haven't played common opponents where they would see us either.
Right.
So no, Mountain Grove has played them, and that was real early. Mountain Grove got beat by them, so I don't know. Mountain Grove's played really well since the beginning of the year, so it's kind of hard to gauge, I guess, their talent based off of that. So look at the film when we get it tomorrow, and make that road trip. It's a nice place to play, and sit there on I-44, and you get all the trucks at home because they go by, and it's just a good opportunity. So I guess if you want to look at a positive, you win the 6-3 matchup, and you stay away from the 1 seed Ava another week. So I don't know. At this point now, it's win or go home. So a lot to play for, and got to get prepped, and got to have a good week of practice, and we'll see what happens.
All right, Coach. Well, we'll see you on the road next week.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Appreciate it.